Good morning, everyone. Aloha. I'm Sifu Z, and I'm also Chile. This is my last day here in Crescent City, and it's really reminding me why I gotta leave. I have to experience a little bit more summer before the winter arrives, and just inland. Yeah, you got 80, 90 degree, 90 some degree weather. Just a little inland, so. Whew. So this is the 50-50 ritual, and probably in just moments, I will be joined by Sifu Chad. The gods of technology allow it. This is an entertainment channel, and we're entertaining the concept of training for health and fitness and self-defense. Let me see, what else can I tell you about this channel if you don't already know? I'm a seafood Grandmaster Chris Chan, and all right, Sifu Chad will be around in about 10 minutes. He is out bar hopping, meaning trying to find bars. A lot of nomadic living is spent trying to find bars. It's kind of become an inside joke of going around bar hopping. That's nothing this morning. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, this is called sandbag training. This is a bag, double bagged sand full of not just regular sand, but play school sand. That's what it's actually called, play sand or play box sand. You can get in the hardware store. Very important because then you won't have to worry about infections. You can actually get infections if you use sand from like the beach, and that little sand sticks through. Actually, that sand is little pieces of coral, and yeah, it can be very problematic. So, if you make a sandbag, and if you can't get play sand, then you could always use like rice or beans or something of that nature. The whole idea is to use something that isn't going to affect your skin. Another thing that's important with sand training is to make sure you don't hit this thing too hard. Biggest mistake. Now, if you like to hit the thing hard, you want to hit the thing hard, well, hey, more power to you. You go right ahead. But the Sifu Z method here is to use it to gradually develop the density of the bones in the hands and the fingers and in the wrist as well. Maybe even the elbow and the joints. Ah. it's very easy to get carried away. One of the things I like about hitting this on the table as opposed to that's what this ring is for, by the way. So if you can hang it, we could just tie a belt or a rope here and hang it like so. But I like the tabletop because you can sort of just relax and just focus on hitting it properly, creating a good fist, developing a good fist. This is a good fist. This is a bad fist. This is a good fist. One knuckle protects or strengthens the first finger, and so on. If you have no support on the first finger, the fist is much weaker. Yeah. Okay. So you can really focus on the details of the sandbag training. I notice when I hang it up on the wall or on a post, it's easy to get carried away, but it's fun. Now, the sandbag training, I usually don't do more than 10 minutes at a time with the sandbag training. Now, if you didn't figure this out, this is a drinking show, so be sure to bring plenty of water to the party. I'm going to show you some other things that you can do with the sandbag. Because you can use the sandbag for lifting, you can use it for stretching, and you can also use it as a weight to do uh, certain body resistance type exercises, even just jumping type of stuff. So, in my assessment, this second only probably to the stretch bands. So you can do kind of resistance bands. Those are great as well for training. But the sandbag is, I think, especially when it comes to self defense, probably the most important training tool to always have. And you can always have this. You can empty the sand out and just have the bag put in your back pocket. Then when you get to a location, you can fill it up with, like I said, uh, good quality play sand or rice, beans, any of that sort of thing. So it becomes a very mobile and functional training tool. All right, let's stretch. This stretcher, just doing the hamstrings. Now, of course, everything you see here is for entertainment purposes only. Train at your own discretion. No, what's that? But you know the word I'm trying to say. Risk. That's the word I was looking for. Train at your own risk. Not enough coffee this morning. Not enough water, probably. So stretching the hamstring, back straight, toes up. Yeah, you stop. Notice if you put the toe up, stuff from the play yard over there. Yeah, if you rotate your ankle with your toe pointing towards you, you get a nice little additional stretch from this rotation. Well, I wonder if you heard that. No, I already did this leg. I want to go back to it. I didn't do the rotations. That felt good. Again, if you're new to the channel, this is the 50/50 ritual brought to you by SifuZ.com. That's me. This is brought to you by me and also by Sifu Chad, which he's probably still trying to find bars. And the 50/50 ritual, well, we would do this about our goal is 3 days a week. 3 days. Yeah, 3 days a week. However, the challenge is when we're traveling, the bars, the cell reception, the Wi-Fi. Without that, of course, we can't do the streams. So the schedule is any 3 days a week where we can find the stream, where we can get the cell reception. Otherwise, uh, yeah, otherwise we eventually this is get some more water here. Eventually, we'll get some sort of satellite connection, and this way we'll be able to do it. As the namesake says, we'll be able to do this more ritually. Because the term ritual implies it's done all the time, right? Ritual, it's like a ritual, right? Ritual, you do it all the time. So, of course, if you train in Wing Chun, you probably train perhaps 5, 6, 7 days a week. But yeah, we don't want to stream that many days a week. I don't think we do. I don't think we want to stream that stream. I know I don't think I want to stream uh, 6, 7 days a week. Uh, also have other channels and stuff. So Yeah, the 50-50 ritual. The goal is to get a satellite connection or something of that nature that will allow us to really commit to, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday sort of thing. So stay tuned. And if you haven't done so already, just subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. It really helps the channel and helps me to grow the channel and get the resources together so we can do this more regularly. Uh, of course, if you want to join us on a regular basis, you can do so over at patreon.com/Sifu Z. So yes, I'm starting to wake up here. The 50-50 ritual is 50 or half of our training session. We do open door, which means it's open to the public. That's you guys. And then the other half we do over at patreon.com/Sifu Z. So if you want to join us for both sides of the 50-50, just join any tier over on Patreon and you will have access to the 50-50 ritual. I've gone back to sand training again. Let's do this little exercise right here. Uh, I like doing exercises that we can all do. If you have a bench, even if you have a chair, you can do this sort of exercise. Ho, ho,
Yeah.
ho, ho. You found the bar. I hope they serve morning margaritas there. It looks like a little shanty shack in Mexico or something.
It's our good old skate park.
Oh, how wonderful! You
Yeah.
know, I was at the skate park yesterday, giving it a little last skate before I leave. I'm gonna be after this session. I'm gonna be leaving here, but I'm gonna keep this whole flow going. So, salutations to you. And this is going to be, I don't know if you have a park bench there, but you can just do it without a bench. But for those of you that don't have a bench, you can, yeah, just do it on flat ground. Look at me using skate terms already. Flat ground.
Flat.
All right. Yeah. So here we go. So just some good old push ups. Let's go.
I need to get a better angle here for my push-ups. Upcline push-ups.
I'm going to do 2 sets of these exercises. Do as many reps as you feel appropriate. Oh, yeah, you got a nice little angle. Yeah. Now, for those of you that you know don't know, if you change the angle of your push-up, it will affect various parts of your pecs.
Wow,
Uh,
it's so cold in the shade.
and also, if you do it slower, or you can change the hand grip to a wider. Um, a lot of people, when they do multiple sets of this exercise, will do various hand grips every time. Pardon me one sec. All right, second set. Let's do it. Again, do whatever style of push up that feels good, that's floating your boat. You can even vary the hand position with every rep. Now, my approach to doing these sorts of calisthenics is to do them and not to do them till failure, which is sort of like a weightlifting concept, but to do it until you feel it. You want to feel it. You want to feel the resistance at some point, but you don't need to like go crazy with the resistance, you know? I really feel that that's where the overuse or the negative impact of these Western style exercises happen when you just go overboard with the resistance. You
Yeah.
know, you can have light resistance and do that all throughout the day, you know, rather than having this heavy resistance all the time, which I understand the concept of. If you want those fast gains, if you're doing bodybuilding, you know, the various, I understand the concept and the use of that. But what we're thinking about is just longevity, is like how much abuse am I going to put on my joints? How much abuse am I going to take here? So, and there's definitely a line, you know, there's a line, for each person has to find that line, you know. When we're younger, I think we tend to ignore that line altogether. Sandbag is just a great example of that. When I first got introduced to sandbag training when I was 30, I just went nuts, man. I just just and and of course it just hurt me, and I still have the issues to this day, you know. um so I have, you know, it's a good example of kind of being overzealous and really wanting to push it, you know, because it feels good. Yeah, you're releasing a lot of endorphins and stuff like that. So um I just say beware, a young person, whoever whoever you might be. Beware of your overzealousness, and that applies to everybody, regardless of age. You know, overzealous, being overzealous. Boy,
Right.
do I gotta, boy, do I gotta work with that one all the time. Here's another one we can do. Let's do it. This is for developing the triceps. Kind of put the hands right where your butt is and just do a nice little dip. You can have you can adjust the resistance by your foot positioning and leg positioning. Again, as many that you feel uh, you want to do on these. There is no magic number other than the one you come up with for yourself. I would suggest going using full range of motion if you can. Again, we're not doing sort of bodybuilding pumping kind of stuff as much as we are exercising full range of motion to comfort level. None of this stuff is old school, going beyond your comfort zone sort of a concept, right? Go beyond your comfort zone all the time. That's called burning yourself out,
Yeah.
going beyond your comfort zone. I
Yeah.
understand the concept, of course.
Yeah. I
Yes.
found that with my for all those years surfing, right? You have your shoulders develop this kind of forward, thing, right? Just
Yeah,
natural
keep
forward
talking. Let's
thing.
go.
So
Keep
like
talking.
when it comes to the dips, like for myself, I kind of do them a bit shallower. Well, at least I feel
Okay.
like a bit
Yeah.
shallower
Yeah.
because
Very
I
good.
had some rotator cuff tweaks. Let's call them tweaks. Yeah. If I go too
Yeah.
deep, I definitely feel it in my right one.
So this is a good exercise for you to focus on and to approach very carefully, which
Yeah.
I think all exercises should be approached that way. So your rotator cuff is teaching us lessons.
Yeah.
you
Indeed.
know?
Right. It tells us to watch ourselves, right?
That's
You know,
right. That's
just as
right.
you were saying, right, to our comfort level of our, you know, exactly as you were saying. Need I
Thank
say it
you.
again?
Thank you, thank you. I've often suffered from listening to someone say what I said, but even worse, which which isn't good because it's I don't always I'm not always the most eloquent with words. I've got my days, but yeah.
Likewise. Yeah. Yeah.
but but often like today today is not this morning at least I'm only working on one cup of coffee, so the words aren't coming quite as eloquently. All right, and now let's do one. Oh, there's a nice little castle behind me. Look at that. I was gonna train in there and whatnot, but there really was no cool place to go. All right, so here, let's do our stance, our horse, and wrist to the knees, nice and straight. And let's combine that with our rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, you're doing
7,
it's close. My bad.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Bring it in. Right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and both out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, bring it in, knees in, left to the right. And release. Very good. Well, let's continue our 50-50 ritual over on patreon.com/Sifu Z. You can also find a link to the Patreon site over at sifuz.com. That's spelled SIFUZ.com. If you're in the Gunnison area in Colorado and you'd like to train you face to face with an actual human being, you can seek out Sifu Chad over there. Um, if you're somewhere in the Sierra Nevadas, I'd say, you can check me out over in the Sierra Nevada area, rather the Nevada side or the California side. Okay, that's it. Hey, thank you, Sifu Chad, for joining me in as usual in this 50-50 ritual. And I'll see you over at Patreon.